Hi everyone, today in writing we're going to be doing memory writing, and so in memory writing we try and write about ideas, and we use our experiences to give us ideas to write about, as well as people and places and pets. But the one we're focusing on today is really using experiences and getting ideas to write about from our experiences. Now we're going to read a book called Roller Coaster by Marla Frazee, and this is a story about a girl and her experience for the first time going on a roller coaster. During the story, you'll notice the author uses lots of description to describe how she was feeling and what happened during the ride. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in our writing today, using a bit of description. So as well as thinking of an idea and drawing a picture and talking about our idea, we're going to write about it, and we're going to try and use some extra detail and description. Sorry, it's written down the bottom there, but using some extra detail and description just to make our writing a bit more interesting. But yeah, before we go any further, let's listen to the story, excuse my phone, and get started. Roller coaster. All of these people are waiting in line for the roller coaster. Most of them have ridden on lots of roller coasters. Some of them have only ridden on a roller coaster once or twice. At least one of them has never ridden on a roller coaster before, ever. The roller coaster is very big and very noisy. You must be tall enough to ride it, but sometimes even those who are tall enough decide they don't want to ride it. Lots of people just change their minds about riding the roller coaster at the very last minute. Finally, it is time to get into the cars. The ride operator says, "Load 'em up, two to a seat." When everyone is buckled in, the operator rings a bell, and then he releases the brake. The train jerks forward on the track. Now it's too late for anyone to change their mind. Slowly, the train is pulled up the hill by a chain. Clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, up, 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 and then whoosh! Most people scream. Some people can't make a sound, and one person can't even open her eyes. The train zips. It zooms. It dips and dives and goes all the way around. Whee! Now the ride is over. Most of the people are dizzy. Some of them have wobbly knees, but at least one of them is planning to ride the roller coaster again. Right now. Did you notice the way the author used some of the description? Like whoosh, and the train zips, it zooms. These are all words that help us to imagine how the story, what's happening in the story, and it dips and dives. So they're called descriptive words, and they sort of help the reader understand what's happening, or that's description, and helps the reader understand what's happening. And also, she's also included some nice little anecdotes about what people are doing, like most people scream, some people can't make a sound, and one person can't even open her eyes. Who do you think that one person is? Yeah, if you look at the picture, that's her at the front. So that's sort of explaining how she feels. So today in our writing, what we're going to try and use is some of that description to help the reader sort of be able to understand a little bit more about what's happened or your experience. Okay, now it's time to think of an idea that we're going to write about, and draw a picture about that idea. So you might like to think of a time you've done something for the first time, or maybe something that was just really exciting. So it might not have been the first time, but just something that you found really exciting. My idea today, which I'm writing about, is the first time I went skiing, which was a long time ago, and I was probably I was about year 12, so about 17, but I still remember it really vividly because it was sort of something for me growing up a fair way from the mountains, and never having gone to the snow before, doing it for the first time was a really memorable experience that I'd like to write about, which I don't think I've ever actually really written about. So in the picture, I've drawn a picture of me looking a bit, trying to ski down the hill for the first time. Here's my ski instructor who's probably explained how to do it and then just set me off. And my teacher at the time sort of probably saying, snowplow, I still remember actually saying that, snowplow to stop and slow. And me not knowing how to do that, and me sort of going really fast at first and then just falling off and then having to go back and try and find my skis. Anyway, so that's my picture. So that's what we're going to do first. Think of your idea, draw your picture, and then we'll do some labelling. Okay, so when we're labelling, the idea of labelling our picture is to just make our picture a little bit more clear. So you might like to label yourself, maybe some things that just sort of make your idea a little bit clearer. So I'm going to start by just labelling me, just so we know who that is. So I'm going to sound that out, M-E, labelling it. So M-E, so that's me. Just writing my name next to it and recording the sounds I can hear. Here's the lift, because that's showing that I'm at the snow, so I might sound that one out. Let's sound it out. We've got L-I-F-T. So lift, there's 4 sounds. Let's see if we can hear them. The first one is L, I, I, F, T. And that's how you get up the mountain, is on the lift. Here is my ski, so I might label my ski. That's a hard one, but we can just have a go. S-K-E. I can hear 3 sounds. Remember, it doesn't matter if we don't spell it correctly. It's just about having a go and trying your best. So I'm going to record the sounds I can hear. S, K. Now there's 2 letters that make a K. I think, from memory, the K makes a K in ski because it sort of looks a bit right. Because I know that when I've seen the word before, it's a bit taller. S-K-E. What letter makes an E sound? It could be an E. In this case, it's an I. But if you just put an E, which I'll do, it doesn't matter. That's a really plausible effort, and that's what it's all about, just making really good, plausible efforts, or doing your best and recording the sounds you can hear. So, ski, me, lift, and, ooh, the trees were kind of in the way, so I might just label them because I was a bit worried about hitting one of those. So, let's sound it out, sorry, T-R-E. So it's got 3 sounds, but, so let's go. T-R-E. Once again, doesn't matter if you don't get it right, just have a go, record the sounds you can hear, and yeah, that's how we label. Okay, before we start writing, what we're going to do is just review what good writers do. So as well as using description today, what we're going to do is just try and practice all those things we've been working on and do the things good writers do. So remember to begin each sentence with a capital letter. Good writers do that. They also leave finger spaces, 2 finger spaces between each word. They stretch out the word and sort of record the sounds they can hear. So if you were saying cat, it's k-at, C-A-T, so stretching out. Use the words list, which is something I talked about to a couple of parents about. So use your word lists to help you spell any of those common words. So you can have your word list there if you need, and use those word lists, because at school we normally use a word wall to help us, but use your word list to help you spell those common words. So if they're red, yellow, or orange, just have a look, have that with you and look those up if you need to spell them. And the sentence with a full stop. And also we want to be able to read back our own writing. So they're the things that good writers do. So let's get started. So I've drawn my picture, I've labelled it, and now it's time to write. Remember, we're going to try and use some description. So I'm not even going to start my writing with a bit of a descriptive word today. So the first word I'm going to write is click. You might be able to hear my pen's doing that. But that sort of reminds me of the sound of when the skis click into place. So click. So let's sound it out. K, L, I, K. So there's 4 sounds. Let's sound. First one is a K. So C, L, L, I, and K. Now that doesn't quite look right to me, and I know that sometimes the K, CK can make the K sound. So I'm just going to add that there. So click. And I'm going to put a bit. Let me just have a play today. So I'm going to use an exclamation mark because that just sort of shows the sound. Click. And then I'm going to read. So click. 2 finger spaces after the word. I, finger spaces. Clipped. K, L, it. Just recording the sounds I can hear. In, I, n, finger space. My, new line. My skis. So S, K, E. I can hear an E sound, so I'm just going to put that one in. Ease. I clicked in my skis. So let's read what I've written. Click, I clipped in my skis. Sorry, that does look a bit like a D. Just in case you're thinking it's a C and the L. I push off. I pushed, so I, finger spaces. Pushed, so P, U, sh. SH is the digraph that makes that. Pushed off and started, so S, T, R, T, Ed. Going, so G, I'm not going to, G, O, I, N. So 4 sounds. G, O, I, N. The NG makes the sound. So I pushed off and started going down the. Now, this is a good time to, if I'm not sure how to spell that, look at my red words, my common word list, and spell that so you can check that. The, T-H-E, if you remember it, well done. So down the steep. Now I'm going to describe the mountain. It wasn't super steep, but it was a bit steep, so I'll write steep. S, T, E, P. Was it Falls Creek? So it was just before you went down Wombats Ramble, if anyone remembers that. I pushed off and started going down the steep hill. H, hill, ooh. And then I'm going to stop there. Well, sorry, not hill. I'll cross that out. If I make a mistake, just cross it out. I meant to say mountain because it was a mountain. M, ow, n, t, ain. Okay, so I've written 2 sentences. When I use a full stop when I'm ready to stop for a breath. So when you're ready to stop for a breath, or you're finishing an idea, that's when we sort of put in a full stop. And then I'm going to go, I felt myself going faster. So I'm sounding it out as I go. And finger spaces between words, faster. Finishing that idea, so I sort of when I read it back, I felt myself going faster and faster. I'm ready for a breath, so I'm going to put a full stop in there. And then all of a sudden, crash. I'm using that word language like in the text, where the author uses the sounds and the description. Crash. I crash. I went skidding. Didn't really. I was going to say rolling. Skidding. So let's sound out. Sk, I, d, ing. So there's about 6 sounds in that. So S, K, I, D, I, and N. So I-N-G. I went skidding down. Well, actually, I won't say down. I'll say across the snow. Across the snow. Full stop. You notice I made a couple of mistakes. That's fine. If you do make a mistake, just put a line through it. Well, there's no such thing as really mistakes. We don't make mistakes. But if you want to change something, just put a line through it, and that's fine. And then once you've done it, read it back to yourself, and yeah, and hopefully it makes sense. Try to use some descriptive words. I'm going to words like click and crash or skidding, just some words that sort of help the reader sort of really be able to visualise and understand what your writing's about and your ideas about. So that's our focus today, guys, and yeah, looking forward to reading what you do. Thank you. Bye.